Today we're gonna try Papa Murphy's Calzones because I love Papa Murphy's and it's not near me, unfortunately, so I don't go there too often nowadays. But as a kid, as a young adult, as a young man, I was a Papa Murphy's fan. I still am a Papa Murphy's fan, and I do go there sometimes when I'm on that side of town, basically, but otherwise I don't go there too much. And they just released a couple days ago Calzones, which is very interesting to me. I love Papa Murphy's pizza. If you don't know Papa Murphy's, they basically give you all your food raw. Let me give you a good look at this. There's what the calzone looks like. It's not cooked. They give you all your food basically like this, and you heat it in the oven at home yourself, and it's basically focused on pizza, and I love their pizza. It's interesting that this is the case they give you for this. It has so much packaging. When their pizzas just come basically wrapped in plastic, they look very super cheap because they are. But their ingredients are actually really good, and when you cook the pizza yourself, I don't know what it is. I don't think it has anything to do with cooking the pizza yourself necessarily, but the quality of their ingredients is very good for something that seems like a cheap place. It seems like it should be low quality because it's uncooked pizzas that they're sending you home with, but it's not. It's actually really good, and I got used to it mainly because they're one of the few places. And when I was a kid, a lot of the years growing up, we were on food stamps and stuff like that, and Papa Murphy's was a place you could get a pizza. You could get their pizzas with an EBT card, and I think you still can. I'm not sure, I haven't done it in a while, but you could get their pizzas with an EBT card and have a nice meal super quick. And they had huge pizzas, which are good for families. They have giant size pizzas. It was great for my family. We had five fat people who love to eat. So two big Papa Murphy's pizzas was the way to go. Anyway, they have calzones now, so I got one of those. I got a standard pepperoni one right here with the little marinara sauce. $6, very cheap. Hopefully it turns out pretty good. I'm not sure the instructions on this one though. They said it was underneath here, so it's all back here. I got a pizza as well. I got the cowboy pizza. It's my favorite pizza. It's got olives and mushrooms on it. It's great. And on Tuesday they have deals, so it's $10.99 for a large. You guys should go check out Papa Murphy's if you haven't, because they're really good. But let's get into the calzone here. Bake within 60 minutes of purchase or refrigerate. I should mention I bought this last night. I ate the pizza last night. But we're good because I always bake calzones within 24 hours of purchase. So we're still well within that because it is the next day at lunchtime right now. So it's only been about, 16 hours. Okay. Preheat oven to 425. Remove sleeve, plastic lid, and dipping cup from tray. Leave calzone in tray. So we're going to bake it in the tray, which is very nice. Take the plastic off. Take out this sauce. I'll admit the sauce doesn't look quite so good, but we'll see. I don't really like sauce on my calzones anyways. I may be a weird person in this sense. It's kind of why I don't like strombolis, because strombolis usually have sauce. I'm not a big sauce guy. I like a calzone because it doesn't have sauce, honestly. That's my favorite part. But I'll dip it in the sauce for this video, but usually I would not. Bake for 15 to 20 minutes in the baking tray on center rack. So they want to, okay, this baking tray, I just realized, is like paper. It's not plastic. It's a kind of paper, so it can go right on the rack. So bake for 15 to 20 minutes in baking tray. Oh, we'll put it in a tray, whatever. On center rack. Calzone is done when golden brown. Use an oven mitt to remove from tray. Let calzone sit for 2 to 3 minutes before cutting and serving. Now they also have air fryer instructions, which says great in air fryer. I'm not going to do that specifically because I'm moving and my air fryer is now packed away. I don't have it out. Otherwise, I might have tried it that way. But for air fryer instructions, we have 370 for 7 to 8 minutes for the pepperoni and garlic calzone. So for a crisper crust, use tongs or a spatula to flip calzone over for the final 2 to 3 minutes of baking. Be careful, some ingredients may leak out of the top. See, that seems like a bad idea. I guess careful, because they cut slices in it, so I don't see how that's supposed to work, but whatever. And they also have a chicken garlic calzone, which you can see on the front here, or you could make your own, but I opted for the pepperoni because it seemed like the easiest one. So $6 pepperoni calzone. Let's see how Papa Murphy's does it. The oven is on. I'm going to put it in there for 15 to 20 minutes, and we'll see what comes out of this little tray. Well, here she is, out of the oven, left to cool for a little bit. Not the greatest looking calzone, but we'll find out. And then it's got nice and greasy on the bottom over there. And I let it cool down enough so I could, you know, rip it in half and see what it looks like in the middle. So we'll see how much ingredients we actually get in there. It seems okay. Maybe it could have used a little bit more pepperoni, a little bit more cheese, to be honest. This side came out a little bit better. And the interesting thing is, there is some sauce in here, which is not how a calzone is supposed to be. There is a little bit of sauce on the bottom, which is probably why it's so wet on the bottom as well. So, possibly a negative. I don't think you're supposed to have sauce in a calzone. That's why they give you dipping sauce right here. So let's try it out. I'm gonna use the dipping sauce, despite my reservations about it. Dip a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit. Here we go. Well, here's what I've got left right now, and I'll finish this, but these are kind of the edges without as many toppings in them. And that's my primary concern and complaint here with the calzone, is that there wasn't quite enough pepperoni and cheese in the middle, which is an odd thing to say specifically about Papa Murphy's, because the one thing that I've always counted on for Papa Murphy's, since I've been getting their pizzas forever, is they've always been very well topped. They've always put a lot of cheese and a lot of toppings. It's why I love the Cowboy Pizza. It's got pepperoni, it's got sausage, it's got mushrooms, it's got olives. But they pack it on. Every bite almost has everything in it. They always really, really, really top their pizzas with a bunch of stuff. They don't skimp. This feels a little bit skimpy, in my opinion. It feels like there should have been definitely more cheese, and possibly a little bit more pepperoni. Like there was a couple bites where it was just pepperoni, and that just does not work for a calzone. You need the cheese. You need the melty kind of gooiness of the cheese. When it's just pepperoni and bread, it's very oily and not a great texture either. But the actual calzone itself, the crust is really good. It's very similar to the crust on the pizzas. I'm assuming it's probably the same, just shaped differently. It's great. I actually do like the sauce. I still wouldn't. I still wouldn't dip it. But I don't mind that they put a little bit of sauce in there, even though I did all that complaining. I actually did kind of like the addition of a little bit of sauce in there, though I would have taken it without as well. And it's just overall a little bit disappointing when you compare it to a Papa Murphy's pizza. It's a step down in terms of the amount that you get for the money, even though I think the quality of the ingredients is still good. I think that the crust is good, the pepperoni is good, the cheese is good, even the sauce is pretty good. It's just not enough of it for a calzone. Even though it's only $6, I expect more from Papa Murphy's. I think I expect more because you cook it yourself. There's a kind of expectation that you'll get more out of it, and they fulfill that expectation with their pizzas, but they just did not do it here with the calzones, which is sad. So I'm gonna give it. I still think it's good. It has a good taste to it. It's a good quality. It's not terrible for $6. It's just underwhelming. So I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. I still think it's worth trying, and it's worth maybe getting if you don't want a pizza and you're just going to Papa Murphy's. But it seems like a weird kind of market to appeal to, just because I feel like Papa Murphy's, their big appeal is more of a family kind of thing. Even if that's not necessarily the case for me anymore, and I still like Papa Murphy's pizza, I feel like their big appeal is that you can get a big pizza and get, they have like cheese bread and salads and stuff. You can get kind of a big meal for cheaper, bake it at home and have it for a bunch of people. It's good for parties and stuff like that. It's not a place I would expect anybody to go for lunch, I should say. It's always a place where you pick up a pizza and you have it later for dinner or a party or whatever. It's not a place I would expect anybody to go pick up a refrigerated calzone and then take it home and put it in the oven. It's not somewhere somebody's going to go to on a work lunch, let's say. So a calzone is kind of a weird choice to expand into. I understand, it's a weird niche for them to go to, but it makes sense because they already have all the ingredients. They just needed to teach people how to put it together. And there's a calzone. So 4 out of 5 still. I think it's still good. It could be better. It just needs more. I think that the actual execution of it is fine. It just needs more pepperoni and cheese. but not so much that I want to give it a 3. So I'm going to go with a 4. It's good. Maybe try it if you want to, but if you're somebody who's seeing this video and has never been to Papa Murphy's before, I would suggest getting a pizza because their pizzas are really good. And if you're somebody who frequently goes to Papa Murphy's to get pizzas, probably stick with the pizza. I mean, there's just not really much of a place for the calzone. That's kind of the disappointing thing about it. Even though it is a good item, there's just not really a reason to get it over a pizza at Papa Murphy's. So 4 out of 5, you know, again, still good, just kind of a weird niche to go into. They also have meatballs now. I saw a sign when I was there, it said meatballs and marinara. It's just meatballs and marinara. There's no spaghetti to go with it or anything. But I think I want to try that next time I go there. So hopefully sometime in the future I'll be able to review Papa Murphy's meatballs, because that is an interesting idea. It's like a big tray of like big meatballs. I'm not sure how big they are, but it's kind of, I think it's the same size tray as this, just full of meatballs that you can do whatever you want with. I guess you could just eat them as they are or make your own noodles, or I was thinking about making a meatball sub with them. So we'll see how that goes next time. But as for Papa Murphy's calzone, it is what it is. So with that, I will see you all next time.